clear.
Oh my.
I know, mine's right.
It sounds so impressive.
I know. Ooh, and it goes live fast too. We're already live. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday afternoon on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We're all over the place. Pam, right there. Ricky, right there. We're getting ready to answer your listener questions. So spread the word. I see on Twitter. We're live. So let's have some fun. Let's do this. We're gonna answer questions and then have a Friday show and have a good time. Been talking about the podcast cruise coming up. How many days? It'll be on the screen here behind me shortly. I think it's about 40, 50 or so, 49.
Crazy.
It's close. Sale. I've been wearing all my Disney Cruise Line stuff lately. There's my shirt, my hat. Steve Forrester broke this shirt in and he had it, so I had to have it. I've got two of these. These are made out of a weird material. Like they fall apart super easy. So I had to get a second one.
But they're really soft.
They are super soft.
Yeah.
Like, holes in them, like right on the
I've
shoulder.
had shirts like that too from Disney. Yeah, they're really soft. It's my Figment shirt and it falls apart real easy too.
Yeah, it's like made out of like, I don't know what it's made out of, but they're super comfortable, but they're super like, yeah, they fall apart super easy.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So we are going to be answering your list of questions. If you have questions, throw them into into the chat, and we will put them up here. If you're on Twitter, we can't put them into the chat here, though. So if Twitter's not the best place to watch. If you have to in a pinch, it works. Twitch is a great place to watch. Facebook and YouTube as well. So shout out to Tony, Alfred, Margie. Who else do we got here? Real quick, Scott, who's watching poker. He should be working, but we're interrupting his poker viewing on Twitch apparently. And yes, we are going to schedule a call. We just did. Scott, you just missed out on the call. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we are. We talked about it. We'll do it for this week.
We'll get you in this week. Okay, so let's look for questions. We did talk old fashions though, without you. So yeah. That's Scott's middle name. Scott.
Steve Forster makes his own simple syrup mix. So
see, I don't, but I my last two old fashions that I made have been smoking good, and I shake them in a shaker, but they have been really good. I know Scott's always like, you got to stir, not shake. That's all, and they're good.
No, but like Steve will do like special ones, like at the holidays, he'll do like a rosemary one, a rosemary simple syrup, and yeah, I know.
I'm not there yet.
He's fancy like that.
I've made like 3 or 4, and the last 2 have come out really good. Because the one I made before that, I forgot to shake it, and it was terrible. And I was like, why is this thing so terrible? It's like drinking dirty water. And then it was like, oh no, Scott's got a migraine. I don't know how that is. Dude, I was there 2 Mondays ago where I had to do a telecall to the doctor. So got my medicine though. So hang in there, Scotty G. All right. Yeah, gotta stir it, shake it, whatever it takes. No shake. I did shake. We gotta do the show. Here we go. 2287. Welcome to episode 2287 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week. Thanks so much for joining us here in our new locations. We are now broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube, as always, as we record the shows, but now also on Twitter at Be Our Guest Mike and on Twitch. Just search for the Be Our Guest Podcast. Yes, we made an account on Twitch about 5 years ago. I didn't know what was going on with it. It just sat there, but we are now using it. So we have a new platform. So if you want to join us live as we record, just subscribe to the show on Twitch. Just search for the Be Our Guest Podcast. You'll get a notification. We'd love to have you over there as well. We're broadcasting in HD over there. You probably don't want to see us in HD, but you can. It's totally up to you. I don't advise it, but you can. Anyway, we're going to be answering your listener questions. Having a good time today. Joining me from themouseforless.com, we have Ricky. Ricky, happy Wednesday. What's going on?
Happy Wednesday. Just getting ready to go back to the grind. I start work again here next week, so it's gonna be crazy actually getting back into the working world once again.
Welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
You've had your maternity break there, and
it is not a break, let me tell you.
I get that. I remember those days. I didn't know if it was 3:28 a.m. or p.m. when I stayed home with Pam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
yeah.
So that'll be. It's actually kind of nice to get back on a schedule, you know.
Yeah, I think that'll be good for all of us involved. Yes, me, Brian, Lucy, everybody will much appreciate a schedule. Although Lucy's on a pretty good schedule of her nighttime stuff already, so we're good there too.
Good stuff.
She tells us, trust me. She already tells us. She's like, "Mom, I am done. Let's go to bed."
Good stuff. That's good stuff. Hey, I'm the same way. 10 o'clock news hits. Mike goes to bed. Anyway, also joining us with co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forrester. Pam, what's going on? Almost podcast cruise time.
No, it is almost podcast cruise time. I know that was an incoming phone call.
What's going on? We're on a new platform, and it's got all kinds of
I know, right?
And I click.
Too funny. But yes, it's all. What is the countdown? I know you said it was like 40 some days, but
it's on the screen behind me. So just wait, is that? Hang on, it's going by. Oh, we just missed it. It'll go by again. We just
wait for it to go around again.
It's like in the 40s.
I know. This is when time starts moving really quickly, though.
Yes, tell me.
It's like oh yeah, okay, yes, that. So, anyways, yes. Lots of good stuff, though. We're working on some good stuff for everyone to sort of be able to get together. But I'm just most excited about being back on the ship. And I've been on the Wish a couple times already, but I'm still like, I want to go back to the ship. So
Scott and I were having a discussion on Sunday night at the call-in show, I think, or maybe we were just having a discussion offline, but I can't remember. But either way, we are very much alike when it comes to Disney, and both of us have really tried to stay spoiler free on the ship. Like I've
that's me too. I've tried too.
Right. I've learned what I need to for my guests, right? Like deck plans. Like I know there's 2 elevator bays rather than 3. Like I know the stuff that I need to know, but like I haven't watched like point of view videos of the water ride. I can't remember the name of it because that's how spoiler free I'm trying to stay.
That's the Aquamouse.
The Aquamouse. And what Scott said, and this is exactly the point that I'm excited for, and he's exactly right. This is why I'm trying to stay spoiler free, is that there are very few Disney experiences where you can kind of go in when you get to the point that you're listening to a Disney podcast like ours, or you're putting on a show like ours, that you can go in and have a surprise.
Yes.
And the Disney Wish is going to be one of those experiences for me, because you go on the Fantasy and the Dream, they're very similar. The aesthetically are a little bit different, but the Wish is different enough that I've made it to this point. I've made it inside of 50 days.
I've made it this far.
And I'm super excited because the atrium's going to look different. Like I saw the renderings and I've seen, photos and stuff, here and there, but I haven't watched like vlogs and blogs, and I've stayed away from that stuff intentionally because I want a spoiler free as possible experience. And Pam, I mean, that's one of those things, even though we have over 100 folks sailing with us, I hope to be like a kid in a candy store going on the Wish there on July 3rd.
I think you will be. I think there's a lot to see. I think you absolutely won't see it all because I've been on the ship, as I said, a couple times, and I still have not. There are things that I have not done or seen that I really wanted to do. I like the ship, and everyone gets to choose, the ships that they like the best. Hannah was teaching me a little phrase that she, teaches her kids a little bit. I think probably as adults, this would be a decent phrase for us to use in general practice, because I thought it was kind of a good idea. She's like, don't yuck anybody's yums. So I was like,
I like it.
I think that as a society, we may want to use that. And it's not to say everyone has to agree. It's just so you don't have to make someone feel bad about the things that they love. So everyone gets to choose the ships that they like the best. For me, the Wish is my favorite ship. And I've said this from the beginning. It is not hype. Like I say how I feel when I don't like something or I do like something. I do like the ship. It's my favorite. If I had a choice to go on any Disney ship, I would choose the Wish. So, and I know that other people feel the same and some people don't. So the only way you'll know what your yum is in terms of the ship is to experience it. So I'm really looking forward to getting back on the ship, and I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum. I mean, if you love the magic, that's your favorite ship, by all means, love it.
Yeah. So far, I don't know. Like, I think because I haven't been on the Wish yet. The Fantasy's my favorite ship right now. And I think it's because like it's a 7-nighter, and I'd put me out as long as I could be on the ship, the better.
Yes.
And I like different aspects of the Fantasy, but I like I like the bigger ship. I like the Dream too. So it's just aesthetics. I don't know, but the Wish has a lot of things. And the funny thing is, like, we're at that point where Mallory is like watching all the videos. So every night at dinner, she's like, "Did you?"
And you're trying to close your eyes, right?
No. I won't watch the videos, but she's always like, "Did you know you can do?" I'm like, "Yes, I did know." She's like, "Did you know you can get Mexican food?" I'm like, "I do know that. Yes, I do know that." Did you know that? Yeah, I do know that. Yes, I do know. Don't show me. Knock it off. Like, I'm excited that it's hard to get, a 15-year-old girl excited, about a vacation with your parents, right? But so it does make me happy. And so we're going to have fun. So anyway, let's get on to that's coming up here shortly. Rob's got a question here. He's tuned in live on YouTube, which I love that we can see where everybody's watching us today as we record. Right. He's looking to stay on site for the entire month of February. Wow. Otherwise known as the Pam Forrester philosophy.
Exactly.
The abandoned Pittsburgh and the worst month.
Yes.
He says, anyone have any experience, Pam Forrester? Tips or tricks? So Pam Forrester, help Rob out as he abandons his hometown for February of 2024.
So Rob, the things that sort of played into our decision as we were thinking about sort of an extended stay is that I really wanted some kind of kitchenette location. So I would be looking at one of the deluxe villa properties, at least for part of the time, to stay there so that you could, I will tell you straight up, other than breakfast, there was not a meal cooked in that area. But I think like breakfast is sort of one of those meals where it's like, especially if you're working from there too, we were sort of doing a work from a different location, not from home, but a work from what our home was at the time. And so that was kind of nice to just sort of ease into the day, have that kind of thing set up. As I've mentioned before, I am not a fan of the breakfast at any resort location. It's just because I am a creature of habit. I like to have the same thing for breakfast every morning. I like my coffee made the way I want to make it. I am boring when it comes to breakfast. So when I roll up and like my choice is the bounty platter, which has 3 different things that I'm not going to eat, and the egg that I want.
Whoa.
I'm not yucking on anyone's yum.
That is the Midwestern dream, is what the bounty platter could be called. It's potatoes, eggs, and some kind of a meat. Bacon and sausage. Good Lord, that's perfect.
And I'm not going to do that.
God intended you to get up and eat.
So those are things I'm not going to have. So like that kind of thing was sort of important to me, and it may be important to you too. We still do have some of those, the studio I think has a kitchenette, which I think is probably good for most people's wants and needs. If this doesn't matter to you, then ignore my advice completely, really and truly. Do that. I think for us too, another thing that was important is we did kind of want to experience a few different resorts when we were there. I didn't want to be at the same one for the whole time. So maybe you break that into chunks of time that you want to sort of bounce around. And I think it gives you that kind of option too. It feels like a new vacation when you change into a new resort. I was like, we were here and now we're here, and it's like it's starting all over again. So I love that. And the best piece of advice is if you're going to be resort hopping, you're going to want to go from your most desired resort at the end of your trip. Put that at the end of your trip. Otherwise, there can be some, okay. I was at this resort that I loved, and now I'm at
You're yucking on your own yum, apparently.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I put that in the wrong order. Didn't get that right. No, that's a good tip. And So he says that Rob follows up. He's going to be doing 2 weeks in a DVC resort, which is going to be great because it's going to take care probably of the kitchenette, or someplace to prepare meals.
Yes.
And I think unless you're very lucky, you will have to work. So you need to think about your workspace, like you said. You're going to have a place within your, you can work at Pop Century. I mean, I've done it. You just got to be creative, but it's a lot easier to work in a villa. You know what I'm saying? You could set up, in the kitchen area. You could have,
it is, and that was what it was.
Set up rather than going to the food court or finding a place. Yeah.
And Steve and I were both working, so we both needed space where we weren't talking, when the other person was on camera. And there's so much done on Zoom at this point that I think that really sort of figured into where we wanted to stay too. It did make for some interesting backgrounds, I think, during Zoom kind of meetings to get there. But yeah, in the end, we really enjoyed it. And we're both so fortunate that we can work from wherever we are. We're fortunate and unfortunate, I think, is the being able to work from wherever you are. Because when you can work from wherever you are, you tend to work wherever you are and more often than you should. But it was totally worth it. And I would do it again in a second.
All right. Question from Matt, who is actually right across the river here in St. Louis, getting ready to sail with Disney Cruise Line, one of our great guests here at the Magic for Less. And we really appreciate that. Just for transportation from Walt Disney World to Port Canaveral and back, is anyone pre-booked an Uber? I've never taken Uber. We've taken, we've done like Happy Limo and another car service with no issues. One time, I think that was the time we did the 12-night cruise. We did the back-to-back. We did the 7-nighter with the 5-night podcast cruise. And we had so much luggage and we all shared a limo. Remember that, Pam? Were you in that limo with us? I think you were, right?
I can't remember. Did I block this?
So remember, we had so many people in the limo and we had so much luggage. The luggage was sitting in our laps in the limo.
Gosh.
I'm sure no. It's either there or the Gardeners. We had so much luggage. Like everybody had to have like suitcases in their lap in a limo. It was not luxurious. It was terrible. It was just practical at that point. We're just trying to get to the port. Now I will say, because I'd never pre-booked an Uber, but I did do that when I was at Disneyland in April for that media thing when I came back on April 1st. And I had to catch my Uber like at 3:00 in the morning because my flight was at 6.
Yeah.
And I was super scared that I wasn't going to get an Uber. It was actually a Lyft. But I was like, dude, what if nobody shows up at 3 a.m? Because me, like normal people are asleep at 3 a.m. Like, is somebody going to be awake to pick me up at 3 a.m? So I scheduled it on the app ahead of time. Like I think you do it 24 hours ahead of time. Bam. It tells you the guy, the person's name is going to pick you up. And they were there right on time. So it works. I mean, it worked at Disneyland. I would say it would work at Walt Disney World. Ricky, you have any experience with that down there? Lyfts or Ubers, like pre-scheduled?
Not with pre-booking. No, I've
We're
never done the pre-booking. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, you guys usually rent a car, right? Or how do you guys get to the port? Do you guys drive yourself?
No, we've been taking transportation lately. And the other thing is too that I have known 2 people who've pre-booked an Uber at different times and the Uber did not show up.
Really? I guess I got lucky.
So I am, and maybe those are 2 like one-offs, right? Never to be repeated again. Hopefully there'll be 800 people who come along and say, I pre-book all the time and it works great. It just did not work for them. And so now that has scared me to death. So I choose a private car transportation whenever possible. Because I that just makes me feel a bit more secure.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that. I would too. if it hadn't shut up twice, yeah, I would have definitely.
I'm so glad I didn't know the story when I was at the Disneyland Hotel at 3 o'clock in the morning because I had to get home that day. Like I had so much to do, and it was April 1st. Like that'd have been the total April Fool's joke that I'd missed my flight. Oh man. Okay. Jason is tuned in live on Facebook, says first time staying at Art of Animation. Any suggestions to add to our room reservation locations? We're staying there because of Skyliner access for sure. Okay, first of all, you got to, if you're staying family suites, the room categories are going to kind of determine, especially at Art of Animation. If you're staying in a standard room, you're in Little Mermaid, and you're going to be down on that far end because that's just where all the Little Mermaid rooms are. Kind of down across from the 50s at Pop Century. If you are staying in a general family suite, which is one of the options you can book at Art of Animation, you can be assigned to any of them. So you can put a request on for any of them, but you can be assigned to any as well. So that'd be Lion King, Cars, or Finding Nemo. But and then you can book, obviously look at your reservation. Most likely if you're in a family suite, you are already booked into one of the themes of Finding Nemo, Lion King, or Cars, and that will have you assigned to one of those 3 areas. The good news is you're going to be close to the Skyliner at any of those. I mean, even so, Little Mermaid rooms are the furthest from the Skyliner station, but it's not bad. It's really not that bad at all. I mean, it's a little bit of a hike, but I mean, I've stayed in them with no problems. Ricky, have you ever stayed at Art?
That is one of the resorts I haven't stayed at. That's a value. I think I've stayed at every single one except for Art of Animation. Yeah, so that's the lone wolf in my category. Yeah.
Pam, I mean, I wouldn't say there's any issue at Art at all for getting to the Skyliner access.
I don't think so either. I mean, even it's funny. I know for a while there when the Little Mermaid, when Art of Animation first opened up, people were like, the Little Mermaid is the furthest from the main building. So we walked it like probably 10 times. And I kept walking it and kept walking it because it really is less than a 5-minute walk. And I kept wondering, what am I missing here in that? And I think it's just sort of our interpretation of things, right? At the end of the night, or if you're carrying kids, or if you've been walking all day, it does seem far, but it's really not that far. And the access to the Skyliner is pretty much in the middle of the resort. So if you're staying at one of the Finding Nemo rooms, which is the preferred view, you're going to be right there by it, but none of them are really that far away. So all of it's good stuff. I think the only thing that every now and then people make a request for is maybe to have a view of Hourglass Lake. If possible, from there. It's not really your room, it's from the balcony near your room. So, but other than that,
yeah, I would say the equivalent of the walk to the Little Mermaid rooms would be like the walk to the 90s at Pop Century, or the 50s, depending on which way you're going. Probably, I think the most distant rooms, and to me, it seems further to the 90s than the 50s.
I think you're right.
You think?
It feels further too.
I don't know why.
It feels further to me too. Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just me. Okay, a couple quick questions. Alfred's asking, on cruises, do you get pass holder discounts? I wish, but unfortunately, no on that. So Andrew's got a good question. Our good buddy Andrew on Facebook. Thoughts on Poseidon's Fury closing over at Islands of Adventure? Pam, I didn't do that ever.
Oh, wow. So it was very like sort of campy, like very predictable. I think it had sort of a cult following. I will say my favorite part of Poseidon's Fury was they had this water tunnel that you walked through. It was fantastic. It really was. It was a really cool special effect. And it was really sort of a show. It sort of moved you through these different rooms and you were watching all of that. I really wish in some ways that Universal would have gotten the ability to work with that Rick Riordan series, which is all about the Greek gods and all of that. I think they would have done a fantastic job about it. But they didn't. Disney actually owns the rights to be able to work with that. And it'll be interesting to see if they ever use those. I'm wondering if they're going to expand the Wizarding World over there. And that would be kind of a cool thing. I can see that doing it. But it's a huge footprint. It really was a humongous show building. It's just a big space, and it is located very close to the Wizarding World. So I think that we might see some of that, which would be really, really exciting. I think anytime we have, the ability to have two competing theme park destinations, sort of competing against each other and trying to one up each other, I think that that's a cool thing. And I think it can only be good for all of us who love the theme parks. So anyways, and the Rick Riordan series that was escaping me was the Percy Jackson series. And there's been a movie or two from it, but I think it just had a lot of potential to sort of fit into that space because it was so, a part of that. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Universal does. I mean, I cannot be more excited about the expansion that's taking place over there, and really looking forward to the new theme park that's coming, the new hotels that are coming. All of that I think is just a big, big deal.
Could they throw some Nintendo in that spot though? To get
it's coming. It's coming.
Definitely coming to Epic for sure.
It is
obviously there, but I mean, I would think they would want to, obviously that's going to be that park, but I would think they would want to have a little bit of Nintendo, especially with the success of the movie, in every park, right?
That would be interesting. It really would.
It has some park to park synergy, as Disney would call it.
It would be.
Sure.
I would be curious to see how they would do it too, because I'm assuming that they're probably going to lean pretty heavy into the Mario world with Epic. But
think about the energy of that new game that just came out.
The Zelda game. What? That would be perfect in there. Really, in
the Epic or in the area for Poseidon. That would be.
And I know nothing about Zelda. I've just listened to a lot of podcasts, and I know that is the hottest thing over the last 72 hours.
Yeah, 100% it is. I think that would be a perfect thing in there. And if they decided to take, Nintendo World out and about, it would be really cool. I would love to see, I think that it's there, to expand Nintendo World, like you said, Mike, to have a little bit in each park, just like in the Wizarding World, that there'll be a little bit in each park. It is so popular, and I love the way that it kind of pulls everybody in. There are so many gamers that I think that's a cool part of it too. So Zelda would absolutely fit in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are saying that's the greatest video game of all time. I mean, he's been out like 4 days at this point. It's crazy. And I don't know. I mean, I got a Switch sitting right 5 feet from me, and I just play golf on it, and I subscribe to the thing where I can get, Super Mario, like the original Mario Brothers, like the old like NES games on it. That's what I play on it. So, and Tetris. So I'm not into the new games. I'm old. Okay. Good question, Andrew. Great. Man, he's bringing it today so we can, have some good comments. All right, Julie's got a question. Do annual pass holders get a discount on day tickets for other visitors? My daughter has an annual pass. We wondered if she got a discount on tickets for me and my husband. I wish that would be nice.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Unfortunately, and no like discounts on anything with tickets with annual pass holders.
But
there is a
coming in June. Annual pass holders are going to get appreciated.
We are. Hooray.
I mean, you're going to get a spot to cool down and rest.
You are.
You're going to get a rest area. It's almost like you're going to get like coming up in 7 miles rest area. Only for annual pass holders though, rest area. You can use the restroom and you can get some Cheez-Its.
Probably. Yeah.
No, I don't know what it's going to be, but there are going to be rest areas. There's going to be a magnet. They're saying Figment.
I know it is probably. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get down there.
I got one. I have like 10 Figment annual pass holder magnets from the last time they did them.
Well,
they did them already.
But now they have a new design.
Yeah, I'm sure they new design.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing? They're going to do that.
There's snacks. There's discounts.
Of course, they're going to have a cupcake.
I mean, duh. Of course,
there'll be a cupcake.
Yeah.
They're going to do discounts.
They've kind of gone away from the cupcake trend, though. I mean, they really have. They've done a few other things, so they've gone away from the cupcake trend for sure.
It's going to be a cupcake. I'll watch. Speaking of snacks, Catherine's coming in hot with a question. Have you all done the campfire s'mores at the resorts? Looking for things to do at the resorts, Riv, and other relaxing things on our rest day besides the pool. So when I was down for the 10 miler, they were doing the s'mores thing at Pop Century, and I was staying in the 60s building. My room was right there looking over the s'mores pit, right there by the Corvette thing, where Goofy stands and the surfboard.
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, I almost went down there, but I was like a guy by myself, and like it was all like kids and stuff, and I didn't want to be like a creeper. But man, I wanted one. And I'm not even like a big s'mores eater, but they didn't look so good. Like I saw everybody it looked like a scene out of The Sandlot. I was like, dude, I need a s'more. And I think that's a great idea. Pam, I think it's one of the better things Walt Disney World does at the resort. Stuff like this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sort of back to basics kind of fun. And I think that we all sort of appreciate those. It really makes you slow down, and it takes a little bit of time to cook a marshmallow properly without just shoving it in the middle of the fire and having it catch on fire and flinging it away around to try to get the flames out. I mean, you need
Dear God, it's on fire. No,
right? A little flaming ball of sugar that you fling at other people.
I mean, that seems safe, right? Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, no, but I mean, it is really, I think that so many of us remember things like that when we were kids, right? A campfire where you made some s'mores. I mean, that's pretty much the definition of a good evening when you're younger, and even as you get older. So I think to be able to take our kids there or our friends there and to hang out and do it is a fun thing too. So absolutely do that. There's a whole movies under the star evening too that takes place at the resorts. When you check in and get that listing of the activity schedule, that's something that you can do too. And I love that too. There's something about a movie outside.
Yes.
I mean, it is, right? Because you're not in a movie theater.
Driving without cars.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And you're at Walt Disney World, so all the better. And I think one of the best ways to enjoy a movie under the stars is to take like a good snack with you that you picked up at the quick service location before you head there. So that's a good thing. And really the resorts are full of activities throughout the day. Like you could not go into a park and go to the pool area, or some of the other resorts have like really specific like sort of activities. The Riviera does. You'll be able to go into that. There's a little room that's downstairs on the lower floor where they have things. You can make pottery pieces. You can do artwork. You pay a nominal fee for some of them. Sometimes you're designing a t-shirt or whatnot. But you could not go into a park and have something to do all throughout the day. What you'll probably want to do is hang out by the pool area. There's going to be activities there that people can participate in all day long. So it's, the Disney resorts are a fun place to be.
Yeah. And I think, 90% of the guests don't do any of those things or even know that they're accessible. Like we've talked about this a few times, like, Coronado Springs has like a ceramics and it's only on certain days, but there's a ceramics thing you can make out of a mosaic thing, like a mosaic thing, making a couple of days a week. How cool is that? Like I know over at Animal Kingdom one time we're staying at the lodge and you could do like a tie-dyed shirt that had like some kind of like they used like, earthy colors and it almost looked like a tiger print or like a leopard print when it came out. I mean, for the $10, I remember one time we were doing a meetup and this was the loudest meetup in the history of meetups. I don't know why we did it there, but we did it at the Solarium over at the Beach Club Villas. Were you guys there that day? Mike Bankhead put it together. God love Mike. He's out in Hawaii and he's living his best life on social media, by the way. Love Mike. But we all met up at like a marathon weekend at the Solarium. There was like 100 runners and podcast listeners out there. Everybody's trying to talk to each other. It was like the loudest elementary school class cafeteria in the history of the world. But in there, God bless the lifeguards, whoever who were in there because it was too cold to swim. They were doing like you said, Pam, like ceramics where you could like buy like a little $5 porcelain thing and either paint it or I can't remember. Dude, Mallory's like, I don't want to go to Epcot. Like, I just want to sit here and do like $5 ceramics.
Right?
Dude, we came to Walt Disney World. Like, we can go on store in. And nope, she wanted to paint an elephant. And I mean, there were all the kids. We couldn't get them out of there.
Yeah, I know. And I think it's stuff like that your kids will surprise you or whoever you're traveling with. It doesn't have to be your kids. Like say, I mean, there have definitely been times I've been with my parents and they've surprised me at something that they've wanted to do instead of whatever I thought they would want to do. Or if you go with first timers, it's funny the things that they will be like, I'm really looking forward to this. And I thought, well, I've never thought of it like that. So it's, taking advantage of everything that your resort has to offer is a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, today I got an email from Disney Media. I'm on this media list for the guy who's in charge of Disney Golf, like WDW Golf for Disney. Mm-hmm. And they're hosting in June the national or world championships for foot golf over on the Oak Trail. They have foot golf there. And so Paige didn't even know about this. Like Paige is a really good soccer player. And, she played like varsity all 4 years of high school. And then she could have played in college, but she decided to go to Mizzou and she couldn't play there because it's too big. But we're going down, obviously, for a couple of days before the cruise. And we're not going to have tickets. Well, I will, but the girls won't. So we're just going to hang out, the resort and stuff. And I told her, I was like, dude, we should go play 9 holes of foot golf. Like, I mean, she'd love that. But she didn't know it was there. We're staying at Coronado, just catch an Uber over to the course.
Yeah.
kick it around for 9 holes. I mean, she'd
100%.
kill me. And like if I tried to kick a soccer ball for 9 holes, oh my God, I wouldn't be able to walk for the whole cruise. So I don't know about that, if that's a good idea or not, but she would get a kick out of it. But I'm just thinking, God, I should not have volunteered that because I'd like swinging my leg that many times. Oh,
It's gonna be your hip that kills you, I think.
I know, dude. Because I mean, have you ever tried to kick something like when you haven't kicked anything for like 10 years? Oh my God! After I told her that, and I'm thinking later on, like she went to Dairy Queen with the dog, like to pick up lunch, and I'm like, oh, dude, why did I even volunteer that? She said yes. I'm not gonna be able to walk anyway. Kevin's got a question. If you could pick any one Disney experience, for example, behind the scenes, go to see the utilidors, up close with rhinos, etc., non-VIP for a day, what would you choose? Ricky, pick one experience, like a tour. What would you pick?
I would do Keys to the Kingdom.
Keys to the Kingdom. This would include the utilidors. All right, Pam, what about you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely thinking it would be one of the tours too. I really liked, and I don't think they brought it back last year, and I'm really hoping we see it this time. The Yuletide tour. That was one of, I think, because I love Christmas a lot. My house sort of explodes with Christmas. During that time of year. And I think it would be really cool to see how Disney does it so well. I mean, I'm guessing, here's in my mind what I'm guessing, because it's a pain to pull out the trees I have in my house. They wrap their trees, I think, and then just do that. So I'm like thinking, how can I want to have a behind the scenes tour, and I'm asking questions like, how do you wrap them without damaging things? How do you attach the ornaments? Like, I want to know this. I want there to be a staging area in my basement so that my trees can be down there and wrapped so that I don't have to spend the time each year. So
yeah, see, I was going to pick the Christmas tour as well, because I've done Keys to the Kingdom twice. That's how much I like it. I love it. That's like, I geek out going in the utilidors. I've done it twice. I've done this the Steam Train tour. I've done that one. I've done Undiscovered World Showcase. That one was really cool. I did that. I was the only one on that except for a couple that didn't speak English, and so it was like a private tour. It was really cool. Let's see. There was one called Marceline to the Magic Kingdom, which was kind of like kind of like Keys to the Kingdom, but they tied it in more to like Main Street and Tomorrowland, and talked a lot about Marceline, how the stuff was there. I haven't done the ones at Animal Kingdom, which I would like to do. Those would be fun, but I'm a huge Christmas nut, so you're right. I'd like to do that. That'd be fun.
It would be.
Yeah.
The ones in Animal Kingdom sound really interesting, though, I have to admit. Like, they do sound really kind of cool to learn more about the animals.
I agree. Yeah. I would go for those. I just think they'd be hot. Like, I'm a Christmas guy. Give me a cold one. Okay, next question is from Candace. Says annual pass question for the crew. Now that annual passes are available again, I had a question about converting multi-day tickets into an annual pass. Let's see. If we're not Florida residents, can we still convert multi-day tickets into an annual pass when we arrive for the trip? Thinking about 2024, and is that a consideration? And that might be a consideration for us. So, Pam, can we do that with 2024? Like, if somebody has a 7-day ticket, can they pay the difference like back in the old days during the trip?
You can. So you would have to do it before your last day of use on that ticket, and you need to know that your annual pass is going to start as of the first day that you went into a park utilizing that ticket. So those are the two caveats on that. And just be aware that there's only certain annual passes that are available to guests who aren't Florida residents. So that's another thing that you're going to want to keep in mind.
All right. Sounds good. And we've got another question here. It says, out of the ordinary Disney World visits, and says, hey, Mike, I've been listening to the podcast for almost a year and love it. I'm a longtime Disney lover, and this podcast helps me feel connected when I can't be at Walt Disney World. I've been visiting Disney since 1975 and have been, and having been teachers, my husband and I brought our children every February vacation for many years. Now that they're grown, I visit at least twice a year. And like you, I have run in several Disney half marathons and marathons. At 65, I'm still excited to visit Disney World as often as I can. But although I love them, I don't need to go to the parks every time. I love to resort hop, hang out at Disney Springs, go on transportation adventures, and On my next visit, I plan to spend the day at Magic Kingdom going through all the shops, looking at different exhibits, and poking around places I normally wouldn't go in. I may or may not do one of the tours. Here's my question. Can you suggest other different adventures people can do that are less heard of and unusual both in and out of the parks? Thanks, Mike. From Martha. So we kind of just talked about that. Some of those things that Kevin just brought up would be great things. Tours like that. Man, she nailed it though. Like transportation, out of the way restaurants, which we're going to kind of talk about some sleeper counter service restaurants on Friday's show. Pam, what kind of came to your mind? Because she's right. I mean, she's been going so long that it's not about the theme parks at that point. It's about just the exploring the hidden treasures of Walt Disney World.
I know. And I think, so one of the things that we try to do is on every trip, we try to do something, be it a restaurant, be it a room category type, be it, I don't want to say attraction because I don't know that there's any attractions that we haven't done, but we try to do something we have not done. So that is the something that I'd sort of focus in on there. Is there a restaurant you haven't been to? Is there a restaurant that you've been to but you wanted to give it another shot, you know? Or is there a restaurant that you have been to but they've completely changed their menu, which does happen too. So we try to do that. I also really sort of hone in on the live entertainment that's in the parks. Because when you really take a deep dive into that, there's things that either we haven't seen in a while or we haven't ever seen. And because it's newer, and I think that's the way the My Disney Experience app really does do a good job of helping you sort of explore that. You actually use that little locator button that we've talked about in the past. It's sort of a teardrop, raindrop. We need a better name for this drop of a button, right? And you go to that, you can hone in on the specific theme parks that you're at, and then go to the entertainment or the shows drop down and see a lot of it there. There is so much entertainment there that I think that that's something that you can do too.
That's a good point. Yeah, Scott and I really talked about how, especially even like the bands, like during the Food and Wine Festival, Flower and Garden Festival,
Yeah, that's true.
there's such a value add to your day. You know, at Epcot, for example, you know, just going to see that. So, Ricky, anything you would add to that?
I was thinking kind of like some of the stuff at Disney Springs, because I feel like that's stuff that people kind of ignore a lot. So, you know, you could go bowling at Splitsville, or you could do the balloon, or you could do the boat, you know, at the boathouse, you know. So something like that, I feel like is something that people kind of forget exists. And they, you know, it's a really great experience to get to do. So
the balloon, nothing scares me. I've never done that.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It is fun.
I mean, you're tethered. It's not like you're going anywhere.
That thing comes loose, dude. You're going to end up in Africa.
You're not going to end up anywhere. It is tethered.
I think
they check it every day.
I know. I'm just saying. I got weird. I just started flying, and I love it. But give me a few more years. I might get it. We'll see. That thing sways. I mean, when it's.
I mean, it does sway, but again, you are tethered.
It's fine. That's all right. Okay, so that's going to do it for today's question. Do you have a question? Send those in to Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. Put listener questions at the header. We'll get to those on next week's show. Don't forget, you can now catch the shows as we record live on YouTube and Facebook, but also Twitch. Just search for the Be Our Guest Podcast, and on Twitter to search for Be Our Guest Mike, and give a follow on those locations, and you'll get a notification when we go live. We'd love to have you join us as we record the shows. It's a lot of fun. We'd love to have you here. Don't forget, our shows always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. So check them out for all your Disney trip planning needs. The agents are standing by right now over at themagicforless.com. We'd love to help you plan that 2024 package, which comes out on May 31st. So just a couple of short weeks away. Got to hang tight. I know people are getting antsy. So are we, but we're going to take care of it. 2 short weeks, 14 days. I don't know how many hours that is, but it's not many. But we'll take care of you. But again, don't wish away 2023. We still got the summer. We got the fall. Great time to visit. You got the Halloween party. You got Christmas time. You got all those great things in 2023. So don't just look past that, people. No. 2023 is still available. You can book that right now. You don't have to wait 2 weeks for that. Of course, you got Disneyland. I hear somebody on this podcast is going to Disneyland here next month. That's going to be fun.
It is true.
Jealous.
So jealous. So jealous. And I'm saying, get out to Disneyland. Sail with Disney Cruise Line. I mean, 100 of us are going to sail on the Disney Wish here in July, but if you're not sailing with us, doesn't mean you can't. I mean, you could intentionally probably not sail with us. You could sail without us and have a good time. Sail Disney Cruise Line, see the world with Adventures by Disney. Whatever it is, just swing by themagicforless.com. We'll take care of you. No additional cost to you. So check them out today. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That supports everything we do throughout the year. And become a patron of the show, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You guys make all these shows possible, and our patrons get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest every week. Again, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. All right, give Pam a follow on social media at TMFLT Pam. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. And join us this Sunday night for our live show. It's called the BOGP Open Line. Scott joins me, and we take your calls on all the locations, and we'll have a good time. So join us at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, Sunday night for the BOGP Open Line. All right, we're going to be back again on Friday, and we're going to be talking about sleeper counter service restaurants around Walt Disney World. Maybe a place you haven't thought about for a long time that needs to be on your radar on your next trip. I'm looking forward to this because I need this for July. I like to think about, oh man, I haven't thought about that place in 5 years. And I got to get there because there's some kind of thing on the menu that I want to check out that I haven't even thought about. Maybe we'll do that for your upcoming trip. All right. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Let me save that bad boy. Save this. Seven. Three. Let me make one more banner. Be Our Guest podcast. Sleeper. Oh. Counter service restaurants. Ike used to never be able to spell restaurant.
Why? How did you spell it differently?
Never could spell it like for the longest time. It was the hardest word to spell for me for some reason.
Now, can you?
That's hysterical. There are certain words I think we all
Have trouble with?
Yeah, 100%. I'm trying to think one of mine.
I know what one of mine is.
It was TAU, maybe. I don't know. Something with. Why is that not showing? Save. Show.
I forget what one of mine is. It starts with a P, but I can never think of what.
And grab a soda, then we'll get started.
I gotta pull up
menus. I know.
I know. I gotta pull up a list.
I got it.
I need a list.
Need a list.
Boop, boop, boop.
Isn't it funny that we actually really do these on the fly?
I know, right?
We do on the fly. Hello, first Bruce. I'm so bad. Glad to have you here. Hi. Okay, so let me close this and we'll start the next show. The next and the last for today. And then it will be dinner time for everybody. All right. Now I
don't know what you're talking about. I just ate a salad because I had to shove something in my face.
It won't be dinner time. I can say bye to Paige because she's headed back to Chicago. She was home for a week.
Chicago. I actually want to go to Chicago. There's a couple places I really want to go.
If you go, tell Paige because she hung out with Scott.
I will.
She's fun. Just show you around.
We need it.
This is $22.89. Here we go. Oh, nope. This one. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2289 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. It's the weekend between holidays. Last weekend, all about the moms. Next weekend, all about the summer. This weekend, I guess we could say it's all about the grads because we are in grad season. So Congratulations to all our grads that are out there, and especially the teachers who are almost or getting to the finish line. That is a huge accomplishment. I remember those days, man. It is rough, but you're getting there. And also, I got to give a shout out to one of our listeners. I just got this note on social media as we were recording a few minutes back, and it's for listener Ella. She just got a huge opportunity with somebody in the, I don't want to give away too many details. She listens to the show, one of our great listeners down in Arkansas. She has an awesome dad. You guys know who you are. She is going to be doing some great work within the Disney community this summer.
That's awesome.
She was listening to our podcast, and she was knee high to a grasshopper as we stay around St. Louis. And she's just she's been on the show before. And just her dad is one of the greatest people that I've ever met. One of the nicest, one of the biggest supporters of everything we continue to do here on the podcast. He literally makes this show possible for us in so many ways. And Ella is just amazing. And she's got this great opportunity. And just want to say we're super proud of her. And what she's doing takes more brain power than I can have, because I got notes on what she's doing. Good Lord. It looks hard. And
congrats, Ella.
For real. It looks super duper serious. So it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to hear about it, because it made my head spin just reading the tweet. So congratulations, Ella. You're going to do great things. We're proud of you. Speaking of grads and folks that are working hard out there in academics. So super proud of you. All right. So we're going to get to today's topic, because you know what? She's doing hard stuff. We're talking about eating.
Talking about food.
That's what we do here. All right. So Ricky's joining us from the mouseforless.com. Happy Friday, Ricky. What's going on?
Happy Friday. Yeah, just getting ready to hang out this weekend. I don't have a lot of plans, so it's going to be a nice, quiet weekend before the storm hits.
The pressure is like off, because like Mother's Day's passed. I'm like, whew. And thank goodness, Paige came home, so that helped. Like,
that's good. That's
good. Here's some plans, go shopping. So that helped. But now it's like, dude, our anniversary is June 10th. So like once we get past the anniversary, then it's like, whew, then you can kind of relax until, Christmas. So
right. Oh, got it. Nice.
I know. They come hot and heavy, because her birthday's in March. Then you got Mother's Day, because it's actually Valentine's Day, birthday, Mother's Day. It's like, whew, 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 whew. It's like, so once you get past the anniversary on June 10th, then it's whew.
And it's smooth sailing for you. Okay, good.
A little while. Yeah.
I'm glad. It's not for Brian. His heavy hitters are in the back end too. So but I mean, my birthday and our anniversary is literally 6 days apart. So
See, I just combine your gift at that point.
We do. And I get better gifts when I do because we do that. Yeah.
Totally. Fine. I'd rather just go with one big one for the year. Yeah.
We don't give each other anything really. Although I did get a very nice Mother's Day present from Lucy. So
very cool.
There's that. Yes.
Did you go to like Cheddar's or something?
No.
Dinner?
No, I gotta. If you know my cheapskate husband, or otherwise known as fiscally responsible, you will understand when I say I got a very nice present.
Let's go to Zaxby's.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, no. Much nicer than that too.
Very cool. That's awesome. Well, good job, Lucy, and good job, Brian. Good.
Yes.
Lucy probably had an assist on that one this year, I'm sure. Okay.
She did.
All right. Also joining us, we have the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, where it's going to pick up here in a couple weeks, Pam Forrester. What's up, Pam?
Oh my goodness. We have had so much excitement about 2024 Walt Disney World bookings. I'm just going to say, if you're thinking about going on 2024, reach out to us now. We can push you on the waiting list right now so that you can be one of the first that gets an email from us when pricing is released. But yeah, it's craziness. Like really and truly.
I can't remember if I was talking to my cruise line the other day or World. The funny thing is, like a cruise line now, because when I'm working, because I work in my office during the day, but in the evening after dinner, I'll work like on the couch with my laptop, and I have a laptop and an iPad, so I have two screens. And then I'll usually have the speaker on, kind of quietly, as they answer. And cruise line, they all know my phone. They have caller IDs. They know it's me. Like, hey, Mike. Like I don't have to say who I am. And so I was talking to somebody the other night, and like I did something, and like they're like, "What year are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh my god, I've been thinking about 2024 so hard that like, no, I need 2023." But this is the first time I've thought about 2023 in like 36 hours, because everybody was hitting me, because it was like right after that news came out on that
yes.
There, I was like, I seriously don't even know what year it is at this point because everybody's been asking me about 2024. I'm like, I don't know what year I'm living in at this point. It's
That's
crazy.
true.
You live in the Disney community, like stuff just screws up your brain.
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true. So
It's real. And the Disney, like in my world, the Disney dining plans were back. I mean,
Yeah, you're like, hey, it's here.
hey,
Nope.
it happened.
I was living in an alternate universe there
Yeah.
for a little while. I was just like, yeah, when you live in this Disney bubble, it's wild. Like, anyway, so that's kind of what we're talking about today. So let's just jump right in. We are going to have 2 Disney dining plans back, unless you've been living under a rock. And we talked about that last week. Where were you? Like,
You missed it. Yeah,
You missed it. You're late.
You're late.
you're definitely late.
But so we are going to have the standard dining plan and the quick service dining plan. So we thought we'd kind of, get ahead of the game here. And quick service dining plan, obviously, you're going to get 2 counter service meals per day per person. And so obviously, we're not going to jump on. You're not going to be getting this right away, but you're going to get this next year. But we're going to be getting counter service meals. You're still going to eat at Walt Disney World. And you know what? I find counter service meals more accessible in the summer when it's 95 degrees and 85% humidity, because especially when I'm just like burning up, I do like to sit down and have a good long meal, but sometimes I just like to get something light and I want to go to a counter service meal because of the heat. There's 2 schools of thought. What I like to do is have 1 table service meal, 1 counter service meal, and like snack the rest of the day. That's always my plan for like summertime, like 1 table service, 1 counter service. That's why the standard plan works well for me. But anyway, today's goal is to go through and talk about sleeper restaurants that we haven't really thought about lately, but have either a good option on the menu that we haven't thought about, or just a good location that's kind of out of the way. Just something we haven't thought about as far as counter service restaurants that you might want to check out on your next Walt Disney World vacation. Now, we're going to kind of go the opposite way at the top of the show and just kind of say, okay, these things are way off the table because they're so not sleepers. And so we're just going to go around a couple times, just give some obvious ones. So I'm going to say Satuli Canteen, not a sleeper. Ricky?
Yeah, Satuli Canteen is definitely not a sleeper. At this point, I'm going to say Connections Eatery, not a sleeper.
Nope,
I mean, it's not even close. You're going to wait in a very long line or have a very long wait for a mobile order at that restaurant. So not a sleeper. No.
So we got Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Pam.
Pecos Bills at Magic Kingdom. Not a sleeper. You're going to walk past it 300 times during your day.
Obviously not a sleeper. Pinocchio Harbor House. Pinocchio
Harbor House. That's
wow.
right.
We're doing a mashup.
This is why my brain is mush. Today's been crazy. Dude, that'd be kind of a good restaurant. Pinocchio Harbor House.
Harbor House.
What's it serve? Pizza, lobster rolls.
Oh, that's an interesting combination. I don't know that I'd go for that one.
Italian crab sandwich or lobster
and
roll.
what you do is you look down on the Haunted Mansion and wave to the Doom Buggies.
I like this. Yes.
Potential. Work with me, people. We're blue sky.
We're coming up with something.
Dude, my brain is totally screwed up. Okay. I don't even know what I was talking about. Okay, I was going to say Columbia Harbor House is off the table because that is not a sleeper. Everybody.
No.
Okay, so let's go a couple more, Ricky. Give some like ones that we're obviously throwing out.
All right. So Flame Tree Barbecue at Disney Animal Kingdom, definitely not a sleeper. For 2 reasons. One, it's got good food. I mean, really, really good barbecue. And second, it's like right there in the front where people again are walking by it and they're like, and they smell it and they're like, oh yeah, I gotta go for that. Yeah. So I
don't know if you're old enough, Ricky, but like the old like Bugs Bunny cartoons, like there'd be
you'd follow.
His nose would like
follow your nose,
like carry him like
yes, 100%.
That's definitely people to Flame Tree for sure. Yeah,
totally. All right, Pam, give another one.
So Docking Bay 7, I don't think is a sleeper. Everyone who likes Star Wars is going to end up there, whether they want to or not. And it's sort of in that location there. I think too, Mike, your point too, the summer was, I think we appreciate the air conditioned spots so much in the summer that we're like, whatever, where this is indoors. Yes, that gets 20 more like points because it's indoor, 100% better. So.
That's a good point. But Docking Bay 7 though, I've never gone in there.
Seriously?
Really?
Except for the only time I went in there was the time we were there before the park opened for the,
Oh my gosh,
ABC.
yeah.
And
Oh
that
my
was rocking
gosh.
because Ronto Roasters for free. But I was mad. So we did this thing. Thank Pam, we were down for training, and one of the perks of that was that we got to ride Rise of Resistance before the park opened, which was awesome. And then we had breakfast real quick before the park opened in Docking Bay 7, and they had a buffet lined up for us in there. But they put the Ronto Roasters at the very end of the line. So I got all this other food on my plate before, and then I got to the very end. I'm like, oh, what?
I would have known this. I'd just gone for the Ronto wrap.
Don't bury the lead. Ronto Roasters at the very front of the line. It's like Choli at a St. Louis wedding. Put that in the front spot. That's why you're there. Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
Ricky, am I not right?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
100%. I'm just saying. I was fired up. And then they had told us you got to eat quick because we got to get out of here. Dude, I was like,
You're like, how many of these can I shovel down?
I'm gonna choke the night before Fantasmic and die because I was trying to eat fast. What are you trying to do? Kill me?
Right.
Yeah. People went, no.
Yes, this is true.
It was an eventful training.
It was.
Yeah. I was keeping everybody on their toes. Thanks, Audie, for keeping me alive. Okay. I don't know what we're talking about at this point.
Food,
Okay.
yeah.
Sleeper counter service restaurants. I am going to start us off with, and I don't know if this is sleeper or not, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going with, you're at the Magic Kingdom, right? I'm going with, go over to Captain Cook's and get some good food over there.
Oh, that's a good call. But you have to leave the park. So
you have to leave the park.
Yes.
But you know what? It's leaving the park. Is leaving the park a bad thing all the time? I don't think so. Especially when you're just like, you've been going since rope drop. Maybe you're going to get lunch. You need a break sometimes. And the Polynesian is just so chill. Like, and especially with mobile order something, walk out of the park, jump on the monorail, catch a boat, whatever it takes. And you can get some really good food over there. I mean, I don't have the menu pulled up, but Captain Cook's has like those nachos.
That's the thing. The nachos are my favorite thing in the entire world. At Captain Cook's. Yeah, they are so good.
Yeah, I would. Let me see. I'll pull up the. I should have had that pulled up already, but I'll pull it up. But here, and I'm pulling it up right now. But I like that place, so I can't get to it real quick. But so I'm going to leave with that.
They have like meatballs too, like a coconut meatball. That's apparently really good. I've never tried the meatballs. I always go for the stupid nachos because they're so good. I mean, they're really, really good. So
here it is. I'm looking for it. It's right here. So I got it pulled up on the mouse for less. And we have, let's go dinner and lunch.
I mean, it's probably the same menu.
Yeah. I mean, you got bacon cheeseburger, the Aloha pork sandwich. I've had that there too. And that's good. And they have the pulled pork nachos.
Yeah, that's it. The pulled pork nachos. Yeah.
Does everybody have Walt's chili? Is that like a thing? They have to have that.
I think that's probably for the 50th. I don't know if they still have. Like, it might have gone off the menu at this point, but yeah, the chili was a big thing for the 50th.
I'm a chili guy. Like I'm cool with that. You can have chili everywhere. I'm fine all the time. You can have for breakfast. I don't care. Fine with me. All right, Ricky, give us a sleep hit.
Breakfast chili. Okay, good. Okay, so one of the ones I'm gonna go to again is at Disney's Animal Kingdom. I'm on a weird Disney's Animal Kingdom kick today. So I'm gonna go with the Yak and Yeti local foods cafe or Anandapur local foods cafe. It just depends on what day it is. So this is over kind of it's by the Yak and Yeti restaurant that's and it's connected to it. But they have some good breakfast options. So if you do want breakfast while you're at Disney's Animal Kingdom, I don't feel like there's a lot of options in general there for breakfast, but this is a really good choice because they have an English muffin, a couple English muffin choices, a breakfast bowl, and then they also have the lunch and dinner options. Now, one of my favorite things on their menu is the honey chicken, which is really, really good. They do have like some sandwiches. They have rib tips. They also have sweet and sour tempura, shrimp, a vegetable tikka masala, a veggie burger. But then one of the great things, and this is for those of you who are going to be on the Disney dining plan, and you're going to get a snack. Now, hopefully this will continue. This was the way it was before. But the option of the side of chicken fried rice was a snack at one point, and that would definitely take you through.
Like you're robbing them.
Exactly. And if you really wanted to get fancy with it, you could add a side of pork egg rolls with it, because you got 2 of those. So you get 2 snacks right there with the chicken fried rice and the pork egg rolls, and you'd be good to go. So I'm just saying, like, they have some really, really unique, good food at the Anandapur Local Foods. And I know that people just don't think about it when they're at Disney's Animal Kingdom, because there are so many other fantastic options there that I used to think about it all the time. And then Satuli Canteen opened, and then I was like, oh, well, now I'm going to Satuli. So yeah, but they have really good food there. Not gonna lie, really good food.
I agree. That I haven't been there in years, but it is so good. It is super good.
Yeah.
And the sit down restaurant's really good too.
I see, that's one of those I haven't been to, is the sit down. But
you know what? Debbie, we used to go forever ago. She always used to talk about those fried green beans. And
she did.
That was one thing she was right about. Those fried green beans, and they came with some kind of a dip.
Yes.
Awesome. I mean, she always talked about those things. Like every show, Debbie brought up her dog.
Fried green beans.
Green beans. And she
was her garden in England. Those were the 3 things that she brought up. Yes.
The guy garden in England.
Yes.
With the fried green beans. Oh, they were so good. Now I need those tonight.
I need fried green beans.
I need like Uber Eats to send me some.
I'm sure. You know what? I bet if you looked up in the app fried green beans, you would be able to find them and have them delivered by somebody. Now, would they be as good as the ones at Yak and Yeti? Maybe not, but you'd still be able to have them.
Those things rocked. They were so good. Okay, Pam, give us another sleeper. We were so getting off track. They were good.
We're already off track.
Yeah, always.
So this is one that I've actually discovered just recently. We were staying over at the yacht club, and it was one of those things where we had eaten lunch late, so then we were in the park and we didn't really want a full dinner, and then by the time we get out of the park, we're like, oh dang, we didn't eat dinner, we're hungry, we don't know what we want. So I was just looking through the app, and Beach Club Marketplace, which is right there next to the yacht club, popped up. So I'm like, I wonder what's at Beach Club Marketplace. Now, let me just tell you, they have sort of your normal stuff there. They have some sandwiches, and some of them are good. They have like a caprese sandwich, roast beef sandwich, whatnot. But here's where things got a little interesting. They have different.
It was interesting because they didn't have much. I'm just saying.
Something. They have different macaroni and cheeses that are topped with other things. So like a bacon topped macaroni and cheese, a beef chili topped macaroni and cheese, a pulled pork topped macaroni and cheese. So these were all things that, like, at whatever time it was, which was kind of late, we were like, well, that seems like an interesting idea. So we got them, and I liked it. I mean, it was really something different. You don't see that at a bunch of the other quick service locations at the resort. And so this is a location, like I said, that's located at the Beach Club, and that's within walking distance of Epcot. You can walk outside the International Gateway and get there if you're looking for something different. Now, there are a million great restaurants to eat at in Epcot, but if you're looking for a break from the parks and you want to get out, I'd say give it a try, especially if you like mac and cheese.
Oh, now you got me craving mac and
cheese. Now you're doing green beans
and mac and cheese with pulled pork on top.
Oh, dude, that would be a great dinner tonight.
Yes, it would be. I'm sad I don't have pulled pork at my house right now.
To put on mac and cheese.
I would call that a healthy meal because it's got green beans.
Add the green beans in there. Just chop up the fried green beans, add them to the pulled pork and the mac and cheese. That's
a complete meal right there.
That's a complete meal. Yeah.
I'm just gonna drop the word that are the fried green beans, that is green beans, and we'll pop. All right. Here's my next one. And now this one was not a sleeper years ago, but I am not kidding. I have not heard this restaurant uttered in probably 2 years. And it's really, really good. At Disney Springs, Deluxe Burger.
Yes.
Dude, these burgers are rocking. But the problem is there's just so much good dining at Disney Springs.
Agreed.
But these burgers, you cannot sleep on these little burgers. They're not big.
They're not little.
They're not. Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
tiny.
I could split one with Brian.
Right, because it's been so long since I've been there, but they're so because I had them last time we were at Summit, which was like 2 years ago. Are they not like smaller? They're not like full size like Whoppers,
They're
right?
full-size burgers.
They're full-size burgers.
Maybe
Where
I
were
was
you
just really
going?
hungry. I thought
Maybe
they were
you
like-
were really hungry.
I was thinking they were like Bucha size, and people that go to Mizzou games in Columbia will know what I'm talking about. Which they're not like White Castle size, but they're bigger than a White Castle.
No, these are full-size burgers with
Yeah.
full-size toppings.
Yes.
And like literally, some of them you can't get your mouth
No.
I know
around
they're
them. They're
tall,
so
but I didn't think they were like as like round as a.
And don't they give you like
Yeah.
a load of fries too? I'm pretty
They
sure
do
like
get
And there were
fries.
a bunch of toppings.
Yes,
then,
and
for the
yes.
fries.
and they have
It's
good,
like dipping
and they have good
sauce.
sauces. They have
Yes.
good sauces too.
And
So then-
milkshakes.
yes,
Yeah.
don't forget the milkshakes.
I was getting there. I'm just
Okay, all right. I jumped the gun. I was
Yeah,
getting excited.
Easy. I'm putting in the wood around the outside of the patio here still.
All right, my bad. Our bad.
All right.
I haven't
Okay.
put the concrete yet. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, so we got a barbecue burger. We have a buffalo chicken sandwich on the menu there, classic bacon burger, and a classic cheeseburger. And there's a plant-based burger. Of course, you got your French fries, and there's obviously a kid's meal that looks kind of cool. And you got your artisanal shakes. So that
Yes.
means one, they're going to be good, and two, they're going to be more expensive.
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
'Cause
As with all things
That's well,
artisanal.
it's artisanal, yeah.
when I see that, I'm like, oh man, they're going to be more expensive.
Yep.
Chocolate gelato, cookies and cream, but I'll go for cookies and cream. And you have s'mores.
Oh, I'm here for s'mores.
There you go, and a strawberry gelato and a vanilla. So the thing is, it's not a very big place, and there's
No.
not a lot on the menu. But everything there is kind of basic, and that kind of makes everything pretty good, except for the word artisanal. It kind of throws me off.
Burgers, fries, and a shake.
You're
Why is
good.
artisanal hanging out in a place like this? I don't know, but it's still good. And but it's up against places like Splitsville, Polite Pig,
Right.
Yeah.
Daily
There's
Poutine,
Chicken Guy, which has
Chicken
been a
Guy,
huge thing for
Right,
people.
right.
Earl Sandwich, which has been a
Earl
staple.
Sandwich. Yeah, I mean, the Morimoto's even has kind of a little drive-through
They
window, for
Through the
pedestrian.
window. I don't. You're driving your car over there. Disney security might be coming after you. I'm just throwing that out there.
It's like a drive-through window for like Nikes.
Walking?
It's walking. I don't know. Whatever.
it.
Go ahead, Ricky. I'm done.
Whatever.
I'm done up.
All right. Now, here's a place if you don't mind eating outside, and there's not like a ton of seating, although I think I've heard Disney's expanding the seating a little bit, and they need to, trust me. But I am going to go with Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land. Now, again, this is one of those places that was extremely popular back in the day, and I don't know if it's lost a little bit of its luster as time has gone on, but I think it's delicious. They have breakfast here as well, which is always a good thing. But they also have some of the best entrees. They have a barbecue brisket melt. They have a smoked turkey sandwich. The grilled the 3 cheese sandwich. So 3 cheeses on a grilled cheese. And then my personal favorite, the tachos, which are potato barrels, because we can't call them tater tots, with chili and cheese and queso and tomatoes and corn chips and sour cream and green onions. And oh my gosh, they are so good. And then they have like tomato basil soup, which maybe not when it's 90 degrees. But when it's a cooler day, tomato basil soup sounds delicious. So again, it's a fantastic place to go because I feel like not a lot of people think about it. The only problem, like I said, is that the seating is outdoors. And inevitably, if you're like me, you will get caught in a rainstorm, which happens to me literally like every single time I go to Woody's Lunchbox.
So watch your weather and listen to your weather person.
Exactly. Or it's Florida, so you're just going to have that random spot shower that just shows up. So
It's why I pay extra for that. I use the weather app that our guy on TV uses whenever there's a tornado warning, and I always I'm like, look, I use the same thing as Steve Templeton.
I always try to make sure I pick a table that has an umbrella.
That ain't gonna matter when all those Florida brothers
Yeah, I
going
know.
over. Dude, you're just
I know.
looking. That's a decoration, is what that is. That
This
is
is
a cover.
true.
You're funny. That's like the thing they put in the drink.
Yeah.
You're dreaming. You think that's keeping you dry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, but and the funny thing is, like, that place is always packed. Like,
It is packed.
It is popular. People go there.
It is, but they
I haven't
also
gone
don't
there
talk
yet.
about it.
I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
gone there forever, and we never talk about it. But it is always. I mean, I think what it is like it. Like people can't resist. I think that's one of those places that's super popular with first timers. Like
Maybe.
it's very visual. Like it's
Yes.
like a magnet for people. Like
And it was the only restaurant in that land for a long time. I mean, now we have the Roundup barbecue place, but
True.
which is table service, but still, like, it was the only restaurant back there for a long time.
But you could just right to a Ronto wrap. That's what I do.
No, I don't want the Ronto wrap. I want the tacos or the grilled cheese.
I'm 5 minutes from a Ronto wrap.
No, I'm good. I'll
I've
pass
come
on the
1,000 miles, and I'm now 5 minutes from a Ronto wrap. My little legs just keep on trucking. And
Okay.
I love Toy Story, but no, Ronto wrap. But William says up in Oregon, he reminds us mobile order is key. That is
Yeah,
true.
that is true.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Lunchbox.
Yeah.
All right, Pam, hit us up with a sleeper.
All right, so I'm going to Disney Springs, and I bet this isn't a place that you've been to or been to recently. It is Cooks of Dublin.
Oh,
Now-
And I'm curious.
Okay.
I've never been either.
I've
All right, well, you're gonna like this because it is located right next to Raglan Road, and I suspect share some of the same
Oh, I'm
kitchen
sure.
amenities, right? Because it's that kind of food. But they have like fish and chips. They have the Dubliner burger that was at Raglan Road. It is here. They have pot pies, a chicken and
Ooh.
wild mushroom pie.
Ooh.
They have a barbecue dream burger, which has Jameson Irish whiskey barbecue burger with onion ring, a Dubliner cheese, and arugula. Hello, that sounds good. A buffalo chicken sandwich, battered chicken tenders and chips, and they also have famous fish and chips.
Nice.
So I know that's pretty good, right? And they have something called a hog in a box, which I thought was interesting. I have not had this yet. I've had the fish and chips and the pot pie, but this is a slow roasted pork shoulder with baby potatoes, sage, and sweet onion stuffing, caramelized onion, and applesauce. So that sounds great, right?
Yeah.
I know. So they also have, okay, this is some of the other things that really were appealing to me. A Dubliner Irish cheese and bacon dip, which
Oh.
sounds great.
Yes.
Why have I
Um,
never been to this place?
I know, right?
Here's why I've never been to this place. And I seriously, okay, Pam, you got to continue. But just want to say, one, my family will never go here because it's got too much fish because they don't like fish. And also, like when I'm solo, I never go to Disney Springs because it's always a race weekend, and I just never go to. But you know what? Next time I'm solo, I am.
You're gonna go.
going here.
Like, I'm going here.
They also have onion rings and, of course, chips, which are fries here. And then they also have crushed garden peas for those who want to make it a little healthier. So
William says he had a toad in the hole, but never a hog in a box.
toad in the hole, yeah.
Or is he joking? Is there a toad in the hole in the menu?
There is a toad in the hole, not here, but at
At
Rosencrown
Raglan.
there used to be a toad in the hole, or it might be still at Raglan
I
Road.
was going to say, don't they have it at Raglan? I feel like, yeah.
Why's everything got to be a prepositional phrase?
Yes, right. I know. So, I mean, this is a place to go. I know it has a small sort of indoor seating space. It also has some outdoor seating. You could go there. Plus, you're going to be really, really close to Gideon's. So, my move would be to go to Gideon's, get in the virtual line, and come back and have dinner here. And then by the time I'm done, I'll be able to go to Gideon's and get my cookie or a slice of cake or that fantastic peanut butter cold brew. All good. So
we are here to help you have an amazing Disney vacation, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we are doing. You will be so full.
We're advocates for the dining plan.
Yeah, no kidding.
I was like, you spent money on tickets. Are you telling me you don't want to spend money on the dining plan? Like, that's part of your vacation, my friend.
How many days until January 9th, 2024? That's what we
Right.
need to get a little ticker up in the corner. We'll have to figure that out. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Okay. I'm going to give, we'll see, one more maybe. We'll see how the time goes. And this is another one, Epcot World Showcase, sleeper. We used to talk about this one like 7 or 8 years ago, and I'm not kidding. We have not talked about this place in ages. And I ate there on my last trip when I was down for the 10 miler. It's Katsura Grill in Japan. Now, this one, I'm going to give credit for atmosphere more than menu. It is such a gorgeous place to go sit down with your food and just get away from the crowd. You can actually, if there's a concert going on at Epcot, like for Flower and Garden or Food and Wine, you can hear the concert going on up at this place. And if there's nothing going on, it's very peaceful and zen up there with the koi fish and the waterfalls, and stuff like that. And there's all the bonsai trees. It is gorgeous up there. And there's lots of ample shaded seating, but they do have some sushi rolls. I'm going over the menu real quick. California roll, spicy roll. I will eat sushi, but I don't get it typically. They don't have an extensive menu. They have shrimp tempura udon, I guess is how you pronounce that, the noodles. I don't get that. I get the chicken teriyaki because I'm like a basic Midwestern guy that pretends like he's fancy, but I'm not. They have all kinds of udon, ramen, grilled chicken salad, chicken teriyaki, chicken cutlet curry, chicken and beef teriyaki. I think that's what I got. And some shrimp. And they have some miso soup and stuff like that. So it's not very extensive at all. You're really not going here for the food if you're like a foodie person. But if you're somebody who goes to, like, we have a place called Hibachi-san here where I live. And it's like a real quick, like, drive up, grab your Japanese food and go kind of place. It's really, really good. But this is kind of the menu they have. I'm cool with it because of the atmosphere. I just like to get up there on top of the hill in Japan, chill out, eat some shrimp and chicken teriyaki, some rice and some vegetables, and just relax for 45 minutes and then get back to my day. So we never talk about Katsura Grill. Great location. Not a huge, great menu, but it works. So it's not too bad. Ricky, what else?
So I am going to go to Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I am going to go to the Mara. Again, it's a hike because you got to actually go to Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. But their menu is so fantastic. They have so many great, unique things. Again, they have some breakfast options. They have like a bacon quiche, which sounds amazing. They have a French toast bread pudding. Hello. Why have I not had this? This sounds amazing. But then they also they have zebra domes too, if you're looking for them. But they also have for like dinner and stuff like that. They have things that are a little more inspired by the African palate. So they have the Marrakesh falafel platter. They have the tamarind barbecue pork sandwich. They have a braai chicken flatbread. And then they have my favorite thing, honestly, not going to lie. They have the butternut squash soup that they have on the buffet at Boma. It is a fantastic soup. If you like butternut squash, you absolutely want to get this. And again, this is a side. So if you're on the Disney dining plan, the butternut squash soup is probably going to be a snack option. So again, voila, I'm giving you a great option for food, like, an actual meal, but it's only a snack. So I think that's a great choice.
That is a great choice. Yeah, I actually like dining there when I stay in Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's a really good counter service location. And not just because it has zebra domes, but that does help. Definitely. All right, Pam, give us another.
All right. So I'm going to the Crepe quick service location in France. This is one of the newest eateries over there in Epcot. But they have both a sit down location and then they also have the quick service location. And the crepes are really good if you haven't had them. So they have both savory crepes and then they also have some that are sweet. They have a crepe that has brie cheese in it. They have one that is a ratatouille one, which is going to have tomatoes and zucchini and eggplant. And they also have a bechamel, cheese, and ham crepe, which is really good. We've had that. But then if you're wanting a little something sweet afterwards, you can get a red berry one, a vanilla or chocolate or ice cream crepe, or a hazelnut and chocolate spread crepe. And you know what that is? Nutella, my friend. Yes. So that's going to be really good too. They also have ice cream there. They have some hard ciders, and they also have some champagne and some mimosa to choose from as well. But so I really enjoy them. They have both sort of the crepes that are sort of like more of a buckwheat, and then they have the more traditional ones. And I really like them. I think they're a good quick service location. And plus you feel so French back there, right? Having your crepe, hearing all the music, right? Yeah, oui is the way to go. So yeah, being able to see the Skyliner, which somehow feels very European.
It does.
It does, right? So yeah, that's a good location.
I don't know why. It feels very fancy, very European. You're right. Is it? I mean, is a Skyliner a European thing?
Well, I mean, they're absolutely, they have Skyliner type things there, the gondolas and whatnot, the gondolas, as it were. So, I mean, sure, yes, sure, it can be European.
Let's say it is. Okay, so that we're gonna wrap it there, but I want to give one more kind of special nod because I was trying to think of the values and the moderates as far as resorts for quick service, and I got to give Coronado a nod with El Mercado del Coronado. It was a slightly better back when it used to be. Oh, no, I just lost the name. What was it before it was El Mercado del Coronado back in the day? What did they used to call it? Food court.
The Pepper Market.
Pepper Market. Yeah, I love the Pepper Market. But I mean, it's got kind of different stations. So it's got a flatbread station. It's got a burger station. It's got some cheese steaks, like Philly cheesesteaks, chicken tenders, nachos. It's got a, extensive, kind of dinner and lunch menu where you can kind of get all kinds of stuff there. It's got pastas. It's got a pasta station, Italian meatballs, penne primavera, chicken parm. It's got all kinds of sandwiches, grab and go. So, I mean, the one thing that they got over there that kind of rocks all the time at night, they got a dessert station. You can get ice cream. You can get like cupcakes. You can get all kinds of stuff. That's one of my weaknesses when I'm at Coronado, that little dessert station. Now, here's the other thing. I have a beef I've been talking about forever at Coronado is that they have that little Rick's, not the Rick's proper, but that little Cafe Rick's.
Yes.
They'll have like all these great looking desserts, like in the little window there by the store.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Open for like 5 minutes a day. And like,
it's true.
You can't get at them. You come back from Epcot or Magic Kingdom, dude. You've walked 17 miles today. You're like, oh God, I could go for a cupcake before bed.
Right.
Best looking dang cupcakes right there in the window. And you can't get at them because the dang place was closed at 6:30 in the evening. It's 10 o'clock. You're like,
and they have good coffee too. I always think like in the afternoon, like that's when you need a little pick me up, right? It's like 2 o'clock. You've been up since the crack of dawn, walking all through Epcot, and you're back at the resort, and you're like, I could just use a little coffee.
I'm just like, What is it? Like, what are the penalties for a felony if I break that glass? Like
get the cupcake.
I will leave I'll leave a $10 bill right there on the counter. Like cupcake is sitting there. Like, can I ask somebody down there? Can I go over to the Grandestino Tower and just ask somebody to come over and unlock the door and just, give me I'll give you just give me that cupcake or that cinnamon roll. Like, it's such a tease. That place just, I do not understand. I mean, it wasn't a COVID thing. Like, this happened in 2018. It would not be open. I do not. That's one of the great mysteries of Disney to me. Why Cafe Rick's is not open like more? Because it takes a staff of 10. It takes a staff of probably 3 people. There's
right
there too. Yeah.
Especially for the coffee as well. Like, have you seen how busy they get at that Barcelona place? I mean, it's just I don't get it either.
I do not, because the place, it's got ice cream, like I said, it's got coffee, and the markup on that stuff's probably pretty high. I would imagine you could cover your costs pretty easily.
Right, your ROI is pretty good on that one.
Come on now, we need #open Cafe Rick's more than 2 hours a day. That's exactly a new push. Okay. Anyway, we're getting out of here. Let us know your sleeper counter service restaurants. We'll carry this over to the live show on Sunday night. So join us in all the locations: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Join us any of those places and give us a call. Scott will be joining me 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We want to hear from you. We'll carry the conversation on and talk about all the Disney news of the week on the BOGP open line. Don't forget, you can follow Ricky on the social media at Ricky Nibs. Pam's at TMFLT Pam. I'm at BR Guest Mike. Give us a follow over there. And don't forget, our shows are always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out over at themagicforless.com. The agents are standing by right now to help you plan an amazing Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. 2 weeks till those, actually under 2 weeks now, until those 2024 packages come out. We'd love to help you plan a great trip next year to Walt Disney World. So again, just swing by the website, themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That's one extra click that supports everything we do throughout the year. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. Ignore the typo on the screen. And if you'd like to support the show on Patreon, it's patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Thank you to everybody who does that each and every month. You guys make this show possible. And our patrons get a bonus show. It's called Mike in the Midwest. If you'd like to join us, coming over, patreon.com BOGP.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. All right, we're going to get out of here and let you get on with your weekend. Thanks, as always, for joining us here on the show. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you had a great week. And we'll be back again on Monday with another fun trip report to kick off yet another week here on the show. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
Yay. There were some good spots there.
Were some good spots there.
I am starving now. Holy smokes. That Dubliners of Ireland.
Oh my gosh, it sounded
That
amazing.
cheese is so good too, I will say. It just is like we can get it at different locations around here. It's like a combination of like a Parmesan and a cheddar. Like it's a nutty, it's really good.
That sounds really amazing.
It sounds so good right now too. Fish and chips, like that sounds so good.
The pot pie is really good too.
You could go get fish and chips, Mike, but I mean it's Taco Bell night, so you won't deviate.
You know what? I don't know where I would get fish and chips around here. There's not like a Long John Silver's.
Oh, really? Oh, I have a Long John Silver's not that far from me, so I actually just ate there recently.
Yeah, I don't think there's one close.
I hadn't eaten there in years either, and I was like, let's just go to Long John Silver's.
Yeah, but that does sound good though. Yeah, we don't have one around here that I can think of. Anyway.
Well, I mean, that's what Maps is for. Just search on Maps where the nearest Long John Silver's is. If it's in a place that's not that far, go there.
Yeah, trying to think. Oh, yeah, I should look, but I mean, I know most places around here. Actually, might be one in Jungerman. I have to look. Anyway, all right. Well, thanks, and I will see you guys next week.
See you guys next week.
All right. Well, see if you can add your socials to that thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Okay.
See you
All right,
guys.
see ya.
Yeah, bye.